Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to jump on here and make a little video uh, about preparedness and, preparedness specifically financially. Right now, we're going through a lot of changes in this country and in the world. A lot of things happening since Donald Trump was elected, a lot of good things. Um, and, what I'm going to talk about here and show, I think gives reason for us to take a second look and consideration to investing in gold and silver and having it in your own possession physically. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. And this gentleman that we're going to listen to talk here, his name is Scott Bessent. He's the new Secretary Treasury, replacing Janet Yellen as Secretary of the Treasury, pardon me. And he says some interesting things. Definitely, I'm not sure if they're going to go back on the gold standard or not, but some kind of change is going to happen, and it's going to be favorable to commodities. So he's talking about watching central banks. You're going to listen to him. I'm going to forward to the part where he's speaking about central banks accumulating gold, specific and notably Poland. He makes a specific comment about Poland increasing their reserves, but central banks in general and a lot of countries. He doesn't say this, but a lot of countries have been repatriating gold. Perhaps that's what we're watching right now happen with the LBMA, with the London Bullion Market Association. A lot of people blame the outflows of their reserves to the U.S. on the tariffs, but it might not be that. Anyhow, and he also talks about a realignment in the world economy and Bretton Woods moment or time period. And if you know, the Bretton Woods Agreement was the world order of back when they put us on the gold standard, which later Nixon took us off of in 1970. All right, let's listen. By the way, this interview was on November 4th, before he was confirmed. He was confirmed already. And it's on, as you see here on the screen, Capital Allocators, interviewer, Macro Maven, I guess. So let's listen.
Then I think we are in a long-term bull market in gold. I think we're seeing reserve accumulation by central banks. I follow it closely. It's my biggest position. And even I was surprised the other day when the Central Bank of Poland came out and said that they want to take their gold reserves to 20%. And Ted, over my career, some of my...
That's quite interesting. So, new Treasury Secretary, and he's very well aware and observing how central banks are accumulating gold. This is for a reason, okay? And let's forward to where he talks about Bretton Woods and realignment, financial realignment. See if I could get it right here. It's about here. Let's try that.
We can get back to growth. I feel very strongly that this is the last chance to grow our way out of this. I also felt very strongly that we're in the midst of a great realignment, kind of a Bretton Woods realignment's coming in terms of global policy, global trade. This is a lot of what I taught at Yale. I've been studying my whole life. I'd like to be...
Yeah, so there he said it, global realignment financially, Bretton Woods, the Bretton Woods was gold standard. Okay, so let's look at what he says in another clip. Hold on, let me pause here for a second. Okay, so while Trump is about to sign an executive order, he asks Scott Bessent to, same gentleman, to make a comment or to speak about what they're doing or what his plans are. Listen in.
This is an executive order. This charges your Secretary of the Treasury, Scott Bessent, and your Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick, to begin a process that will hopefully result in the creation of an American sovereign wealth fund.
It's a very exciting event. We're going to have a sovereign wealth fund, which we've never had. We have a lot of things that create wealth, and you've seen that over the last 2 weeks. I think we've created more wealth. Other people have created de-wealth. The people, my predecessors, we're creating a lot of wealth. Scott, maybe you'd like to say something about it, and I'd ask also Howard to say something about it.
Yes, sir. This is very exciting. We're going to stand this thing up within the next 12 months. We're going to monetize the asset side of the U.S. balance sheet for the American people. We're going to put the assets to work, and I think it's going to be very exciting. We're going to study best practices as done around the world. It'll be a combination of liquid assets, assets that we have in this country as we work to bring them out for the American people.
The extraordinary size and scale of the U.S. government.
Yeah. So, does that mean that necessarily that this wealth fund or basket of assets is gonna back the currency? I'm not sure. But anyhow, we heard him say we are on a long-term bull market, and he has noted how central banks are accumulating gold, right? And a few years ago, central banks reclassified or upgraded gold to a tier 1 asset, by the way, which they say is an asset that has zero counterparty risk. So, if you invest into gold and silver, I think it's a safe bet. Anyhow, just wanted to share that with you guys, and I hope you consider it and look into this further. Okay. Thank you. Good night.